Blanchard, and you are watching Average Joe Sports Talk. And this segment is the Coach Smith Show, and it is being brought to you by Clint Bradley with Country Financial. So thank you, Clint Bradley, for that. If you think you're going to die, Clint's your guy. Coach Smith, this is our second take on this interview. Our first one was in the locker room at Cherokee County after your big win on the road at your alma mater. What was it like for you to coach both of your sons on your alma mater field? I mean, it was a bit, and to win.
Well, first and foremost, anytime you play your rival, first game of the year, and have a chance to come out with a win, it's always big. It's the tone setter for the season. So obviously, the number one thing, our goal was to win the game. It was extra special having Sean and Sloan both out there with me as players. That's the first time they've got to play a varsity game on that field. Sean's a senior, Sloan's a sophomore. So opportunity for them to get to play a real game on that field. They played pee-wees, they played junior high and things like that there, but for them to get a chance to play a real game on that field where I played. And, Center's a special place to me. I've got a lot of fond memories from my time in high school there. My parents still live there. My sister and her family lives there. It's the only town I ever lived in growing up. So it's a special place, but obviously when you're playing them in a rivalry type game, it's always good to get that win and to have my boys out there with me and for them to contribute. Sean caught a touchdown pass. That was his first touchdown in varsity football. Sloan kicked 3 extra points, and just to have them be a part of the win as players was extra special.
I actually stole a moment of you three on the sideline there towards the end of the game. The tensions were, it was very obvious that it had been locked and loaded. There's a minute left. And it was just such a special moment between you three. And you even looked like you cracked a smile while you were over there. Do you remember what you were talking about?
I'm proud of my kids and I'm proud of our team. I'm proud of all of our players. But, as a dad, it's extra special. Your father had an opportunity to coach Bailey when he was in school over here. And it's something extra getting to coach your kid and for them to have success and for the team to have success when they're playing. It's a big deal. And I'm human just like anybody else. My boys and Savannah and Rachel, they've sacrificed a lot of my time with them over the last 26 years, when I've been working with everybody else's kids. And, we want to make sure that we live in the moment right now, especially with all the uncertainty surrounding the COVID pandemic and not knowing from one week to the next if everything's going to be good or not. We want to just make sure we take the time to relish in the good moments and enjoy those times together because, for Sean, after this year, that's it.
That's it. Now, he's got a baseball scholarship, though, correct?
He is committed to play baseball at Wallace State up in Huntsville, and so I'm very proud for him of that. That's something that's always been a goal of his was to play ball beyond high school and didn't know what it was going to be, if it was going to be football or baseball. But baseball is something that he's had a passion for ever since he was a young kid, and I'm proud for him. As a dad, I want all my kids to achieve their dreams and be what they want to be, and that seems to be the route that he's wanting to take.
Great. Now, you knew that you were coming in off the road to Center, back to the game, that you knew the atmosphere was going to be set.
Right.
The field conditions were not ideal. Like, I have gotten spoiled in Piedmont having turf, and so I just assume that everybody in the world needs turf because mud is, I like the mud. So your offense, and Center's offense, we were expecting explosive. They came off a 41-0 win from the week before, and it just, you guys came in, you went ahead and you established your dominance, and then you started run game, and you were running the ball into play action with Jack, and then it just took off. Was that your original game plan, or were we looking to? I love when you guys throw the ball.
Well, here's the deal. First of all, Coach Kelly and his staff, they did a wonderful job. That field was in great playing shape compared to what all the rain we received up last week. They really did a fine job getting their field ready. So the field conditions didn't have any bearing on the game whatsoever. They had their way with Carver week one. They were a much better team, and it looked like to me at week one they were trying some different things. But I thought Coach Kelly and his staff, their game plan was kind of the way we thought it was going to be. They were so much bigger than us up front on both the offensive and defensive lines. And they got the big running back, Ramsey, and they've got a good running quarterback in Alexander. We kind of anticipated that they would come out and try to be physical and dominate at the line of scrimmage. We feel like our skill guys are probably as talented as anybody that will play. But, we were up front, we were outsized on both lines of scrimmage. But sometimes I think we get a reputation because we line up in shotgun that we're a finesse-oriented team, and really we're more of a straight-ahead physical, impose your will type team also. So I thought our guys did a really good job of being physical and not letting being outsized hurt us. Now, number one, ripped off a couple of nice runs on their first drive, but they drove it about 40 yards down, and we were able to get interception, and then got another stop the second time, and we scored 2 touchdowns. And so we were running the ball by design early on, and they started creeping some more guys up, and then we were able to hit them over the top with a couple of deep passes, in the second half. So game plan wise, that was kind of the way we hoped it would go, and our kids did an excellent job on both sides of the ball and went out and executed the plan.
They did, and that the defense, you guys only gave up 7 points, which is tremendous, and it was in your own. I mean, that was in your own team.
We cut to the chase on that. Those 7 points were on me. We faked the punt from our own 15-yard line, which was pretty. You figure if you'd done it as long as I have, you wouldn't do stupid stuff. That was pretty stupid on my part, especially with us leading 14-0. Really had the game in control right there, and then give them the ball inside our 20 with under 5 minutes to go in the half. And like a good team will do, they capitalized on it, and they scored, made it 14-7. And my stupidity put us in a position there for that game to be that way at that time. Now, to our kids' credit, again, we got a nice kickoff return on the ensuing kick, took it back to about their 35 or 40, I believe, and then we were able to get a touchdown with about 10 seconds to go in the half. That kind of got us back to that 2-score advantage.
Right. And
then I love to have the ball last in the first half and get it first in the second half, because we were able to do that and then score again and kind of double. So 14-7, and a lot of people forget on that. We had converted a first down that would have given us a first down inside their 20, and we got a holding call and got 4th and 12. And Coleman Reed made an outstanding catch on our sideline. He laid out full extension and brought one in off his fingertips, and he was about 6 inches past the first down marker. And then we were able to go on down and score there with about 10 seconds to go in the half, and couple that with the long pass play that we hit to start the second half. And, the game went from 14-7, and then being one down away from getting their offense on the field to 26-7, whatever it was. Yeah. By the next time they snapped the ball offensively, they were down 3 touchdowns.
Right.
So that was a huge momentum swing for us.
I love how well you and Coach Blanchard just work together, like you guys just feed off of one another, and I love that. I think that's tremendous.
Well, I didn't feed him very well when I faked that punt. It's like I took his supper and said, "Hey, go out there and deal with scraps," because that was pretty dumb on my part doing that at that point in time. But I do have confidence in them that if I do something stupid like that, they can go out there and bail me out. So, and we about did. It was 4th down when they scored, and we had a couple busted plays there that they got in the end zone with it.
See, now I think Coach Smith can do no wrong. So
I like that.
Coach Smith is my hero. So we're just going to run with that. Coach Smith is perfect. Coach Blanchard, step your game up. And we're wearing the mask and I noticed you have been religious with this mask. I know that you mentioned that you guys rode down on the bus, like that we took extra buses, or you guys took extra buses. Yeah. We had spaces between our players, and Coach Smith, you are known for not being able to stay off the field. Right. And now they've even given you like a Corona corner. Yep. And you got fussed at a couple times for busting out. Right. How is that Corona corner treating you so far?
Hey, I did a great job the other night. I never got on the field the other night, but I misinterpreted the new rule, and I did have 1 foot between what I call the sideline and the Corona line. There's another line that's 2 yards completely off the field that people refer to as the media line, and in the past, we've been able to be in that 2-yard buffer area when the ball was not in play. But they got me in that little area talking to my quarterback as he came over the sideline, and told me that's a restricted area, whether it's live ball or not live ball anymore. So they gave me a warning, and I stayed back the rest of the night. I did a better job, but the mask and the mask. I'll just be honest. I mean, it's not what I want to do. Right. But here's the deal. We've got a great game. High school football is important in this state. It's important in this community. And we've been given some guidelines and some helpful hints that we can follow that would give us the best opportunity to keep the season going. We've been very diligent on making sure our players are spaced out. We dress in shifts. We take extra buses. We don't do water breaks together. we do everything that we can to make sure that we're not violating the 615 rule and making sure our players are educated and properly wearing their mask every time they're in the field house and on the buses. And look, it gets. We dressed at center the other night. We dressed in shifts, half of them in the locker room at a time, half of them waited outside. We got lightning plans where we're going to put part of them in the locker room, part of them on the bus to keep them separated. We're doing everything that we can to make sure that we get to have this season. And, I'll put a plug in right here with all the rest of our coaches and our teams. Whether we like it or not, whether we agree with it or not, whether we think it's overblown or not, our opinions really don't matter right now. We got to do the things that we got to do to be able to ensure that we have a full high school football season. And at Piedmont, we're going to do our part to ensure that happens.
I've noticed, like, from jump, you guys have been on it.
I'm suffocating right now. I'm just telling you, I'm hot right now just trying to talk. I'm going to take this thing off, and I'm going to have a big old sweat ring around my mouth. But I'm going to do my part.
Well, that actually leads us right into my next vanity question. I know that Bo Starkey is obsessed with Piedmont's mullets, mostly because Bo can't grow hair. He swears up and down that he can. I'm telling you that he can't. Bailey's over here shaking his bald head as well. Tell me about the mullets. How long is this going to go?
I can't speak for the kids. And we got some kids that's got some really good looking mullets going, but I can speak for mine. The deal on mine is I won't get mine cut until after football season. So you're going to see a long, shaggy haired Coach Smith until football season ends. And that's basically one of those things where I made a bet that I lost and I had to pay up on it. And I'm man of my word, I'm going to pay up on it. I know it looks foolish to run around for a 50-year-old man that's about 30 pounds overweight wearing a mullet, but
hey,
it is what it is. And
flown it.
The deal that we made was something that I'll make that deal every year with the kids, and so just having to learn that you got to honor your word.
That was one thing. Coach Blanchard called in on the hotline Monday night, and they asked about the mullet. Again, that's like the mullet. And Dad said that's one thing about this team is that you can't go making bets with them because they're going to pull through.
Well, they're going to try their best.
And they expect you to pull through too. So, Coach Smith, I think you're rocking it. I want to touch it one more time. This is the softest mullet, y'all. He has the best hair ever. Like, if you could put that on a wig, they'd sell for millions of dollars. So, Coach, I've caught you on film day. I'm about to let you go watch film. I know they're waiting on you. And on your way in, you had a bag of chips in your mouth, and I offered to take them. He said, "You ain't getting my chips." So, tell all of our Average Joe's watchers how you film day. What you told us about how it's movie day. You said it was a ball game for you, right?
Yeah, we watch film just like it's a game, and it's just like a game you're watching at home. So, I'm chips and popcorn all mixed together like I did when I was a little kid, and a big 32-ounce cup full of Diet Coke, and we're going to watch some film of Sachs. We know that they got a very, very talented bunch. There were a lot of young players that they played last year, and they're coming out the gate. They're 2-0. They beat two really good playoff teams from last year. And, they're going to be coming to the Field of Champions on Friday night. We've got to play well. And it's first region game, so it's got playoff implications. And world of respect for Coach Jonathan Miller and the job he's always done at Sachs. He's a first-class guy. And they've got a great history and reputation there under his leadership. And we expect nothing but the same type of Sachs team that's coming Friday night. We got to go to work and get ready to play.
Well, we are so excited to be at the Field of Champions next week. And, Coach, I'm not going to hold you up any longer because I know that you're being anxiously waited on. But you guys have just witnessed the first Coach Steve Smith show, and that was brought to you again by Clint Bradley and Country Financial. And this will be the first of many because we're going all the way to state. So you guys have a great day. Thanks.